Hey guys, this is Michelle with Angel Souls, and I thought I would make a video about my trilogy that I am working on. It is my life's path, along with doing oracle card readings and helping people and guiding people as best as I can. But the trilogy. How did we even get started with that? I was a writer. I never got around to actually going through the publishing process with the other two books that I wrote because I didn't really feel the push to do so. It was sort of like I kind of knew somewhere in me that those were just practice books. So those are sitting in a drawer somewhere. But basically what had happened was I got to a place where I thought I wasn't a writer. And I thought, it's time to give this up. I may as well just give in. I think, the corporate job that I'm in, that's the best I'm ever going to do. I need to give up this silly dream of mine, And I found that when I gave up writing, it was kind of awesome, like I had time to sleep in and, I was never busy around the clock. When you're a writer, you have a day job and you're, writing in the morning at 5 a.m. or writing really late at night or what have you. So I had this free time back. And what I discovered was I couldn't sleep. I didn't feel like myself. And there were some nights where I couldn't get to sleep unless I got up and I wrote something down. And then I'm not talking about journaling. I'm talking about actually just doing some free writing. So I started this free write, and the name Metronia came into my head pretty clearly. So it was just, doing, again, just a free write, nothing serious. And it started to develop into something. Now, for those of you who don't know my Archangel Gabriel story, I'll put a link to the video down below, but this is the message that Gabriel brought me, that I was to write a trilogy, had to be 3 for the Holy Trinity, that I was to open the hearts and minds of the people who are asleep to make the information easily understandable and entertaining. Okay, so that's the approach here. So what I'm doing with this trilogy, it's going to have a mass market audience, or at least that's my goal. And the whole idea is I do take a lot of liberties with some spirituality concepts like astral projection, past lives. Of course, there are angels all over the place, sort of what happens when you die and, all these things. And like I say, I take a lot of liberties with that for entertainment purposes. But the idea is to make it interesting so that someone who really isn't into spirituality will still be intrigued enough to pick it up. And maybe if they're reading it and they're like, I wonder what the real thing is behind astral projection, maybe they'll go and look it up and they'll start getting down, a path. Now, Gabriel also told me that it was no mistake that Metronia was pulsing through my head. This is kind of weird, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but Gabriel also said that I should model Metronia after myself. I don't know why, but I did, and I think the reason behind that will be known later on. I'm not really clear on what that is right now. But Metatron is the head of the indigo children, the rainbow and the crystal children, these higher vibrational children that are coming in now, who might not feel like it's a safe enough world for them to open up to their spirituality and be who they are. So he said that Metronia was derived from Metatron, and representing that this book, this work, this character will hopefully open the eyes of people everywhere and inspire unity. And understand that angels are our common denominator. Every faith has some form of angel, okay? So there's something we can all agree upon. And by bringing, just maybe that little tiny bit of understanding, that little bit of peace, it'll make it a better world for these kids that are coming up and make them feel safer about being who they are, okay? So that's the purpose behind the trilogy. Now, what's the first book about? The first book opens with this catastrophic event in New York City. And it's used to sort of release a lot of souls who are meant to serve on the other side. And it's also meant to awaken the ones that choose to stay behind and keep on in their physical missions. But for Metronia, this is the day that her soul is ignited and her purpose is ignited, though she doesn't understand it, because everything that she loved and knows, or once knew, is completely wiped out by this event. And it's only through this event that she gets ignited, her light gets ignited, and her soul family can then recognize her. Okay, so they come, they're just so happy to find her. They're, taking her with them to make sure she's safe, and they start teaching her about her path and what she is on this mission to do. And what she discovers is that she, along with these other people, they are soul collectors. They go to people who are on the precipice of death and help them decide whether they're going to stay or whether they're going to go. And if they decide to stay, they shield them from any sort of pain. If they decide to go, they flash the soul out and temper their energy so that they can be in the presence of their angels. Okay? So it's all explained in the book, but it's all having to do with the paradigm shift and how far humanity has come away from source and creator, and how low their vibration has become. And so there's this need for this sort of interim team to come in and help them find their way to their angels. Another thing that Metronia is supposed to do in the first book is be reunited with her twin flame or whatever. I mean, come on, how am I going to do this without mentioning twin flames? I mean, we are all obsessed with this right now, me included. So she can only find her twin flame by being enlightened, okay? So the idea is that through her enlightenment, she can see her own light. And when she sees her own light, she can see the light in others, and she will see who is her match. Okay, so the whole book goes through trying to figure out which character is her twin flame. And then by the end, of course, she's reunited with this twin flame. So that's it. As you can tell, I get a little out of breath when I'm talking about it. I'm excited for it. It's actually getting to a point where, I meant to have this done, at the end of November of 2013. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to let it go. Because I know, if I'm fortunate enough to get with the right people, whoever comes in next, editors are going to come in and change it. And I just sort of want my baby with me before I send her off to kindergarten, and before she starts learning how to be better. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And what else? Oh, I also wanted to say, too, that, this book is amazing me as I'm writing it, because it truly is a channeled work. On the days where I would have writer's block and I wouldn't want to write, I would actually feel Gabriel nudging me, and I would do auto writing for a while just to see what sorts of things were coming through. And then Gabriel would say, now use your skills and make it so that a mass audience could understand what we're saying here, because the pure auto writing from Gabriel is just what you would expect. It's go forth, nobody really talks like that. So there was a lot of that too, having to find the right the different voices and sort of how they work together as a soul family. But everything that's occurring within the book is actually mirroring my true existence. So kind of in a weird way, we'll see how this goes, but kind of in a weird way, some of the book is autobiographical. It really is. And accidentally so. I know we're not supposed to use that word, right? But just in that, in the past couple of years, I have felt, I don't know how to say this without sounding completely crazy, but I'll just go ahead and do it anyway. I actually had a spiritual death and a rebirth. Dang, I feel like that's another video for another time. But, so just like Metronia sort of has this catastrophic event, I had that in my inner world. And, as people come in, I get the editors, the publishers, the agent, and hey, if anybody knows a good agent out there who actually understands this kind of stuff, let me know. I need some help there. But eventually, whoever works on the book, they too will be a soul family. We'll all come together to try to get this message out there. And my goal with it is to reach as many people as possible and for them to feel at peace when they read it and to feel healed. there are a lot of things that I take on in this book, a lot. And I hope that, you know, anybody, whatever they're going through in their life, they'll get a piece of this and feel their heart sort of ease, and maybe even foster a bit of an understanding. Okay, especially around the concept of death. This is a heavily death-oriented kind of book, but it's not dark. It's not dark. The whole trilogy comes from a place of love. That's what makes this trilogy different from like the Hunger Games or Twilight. You know, Twilight's all about desperation, darkness, need, want, feed me, you know. And Hunger Games is, well, dang, we don't even got to get into that. Like, that just stressed me. I watched the first movie, it stressed me out. I was like, this is it's too much. I can't do it. This isn't like this. This is going to intrigue by the wonder and awe of what can be. Because we don't really know, do we? All we are starting to learn right now is that this physicality, this ain't it. This isn't all there is, right? So this is an incredibly sexy book, and Metronia is really cool, and like, you know, she would be what I would be if I could make myself into whatever I wanted. You know, she has like, it's almost like superhuman or something. But yeah, I just really hope that this book gets people sort of plugged in and taking a different perspective on the things that occur in our world. So I think that's it. I'll keep making videos maybe and keep you guys posted if you want them. If you're interested, I will certainly be happy to give you progress reports. Okay, guys? So I guess that's it. Now I'm going to stop this and I'm going to record the weekly reading. Take care. Bye.